Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan. Something that I've been saying for years now has finally become apparent to the audience that Witcher Netflix universe isn't good. I've been saying this since Witcher Season 2 came out and even a little bit before in my private life that this franchise isn't good. And now the audience is starting to pick up on that because the Witcher Season 3 ratings are in certain areas and they are abysmal, both from viewership numbers and from actual reviews from fans, audience members, and even some mainstream and access media sites. It's incredible to see. I finally feel vindicated, and it seems like a lot of the general audience, even the normies, are coming to realize what I've been saying for a long time, that the Netflix universe isn't adapting to source material whatsoever, that they despise it, in fact, and that there's just a genuine dip in quality between 1 and 3, and it's not good. That's, at the end of the day, the thing I think most people are taking away from The Witcher Season 3 Volume 1 is that it's just not good. So we have a lot of news coming out about the ratings, the behind-the-scenes viewership, and stuff like that I want to go over quickly in this video, but I wanted to start out saying I was right. Might be a little selfish. It might be a little bit wrong for me to say that, but it feels so good to say. Let's jump right into how bad Netflix is failing currently. We've got this article here from Forbes, and they broke a lot of stuff Witcher related this week, a lot of great stuff. They said The Witcher is already dethroned in Netflix's top 10 list by a new show. Now, when I tried to watch the show with a group of other YouTube creators, we couldn't find it initially. It wasn't showing up in my top 10. It wasn't showing up in Mustang's top 10 or Ryan from Legion Games top 10. We couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't on the trending page. It wasn't on front. We watched it several hours into that Thursday. It was around 1 p.m. Eastern when we started watching the show, but it wasn't there. It was a really very strange thing. The next day I saw it. It came up on my top 10 and trending. It's a little bit odd, and it looks like in the official worldwide as well as individual countries, the top 10 list is not showing The Witcher Season 3 at the top, which is bad because they wanted this to be their flagship show. Ever since Game of Thrones ended, Netflix believed that they were going to be the next fantasy juggernaut. They believed that they were going to be the top dogs in town, and that just hasn't been the case. Yes, Season 1 saw a lot of success, but after that, after the abominable Season 2 and the insane prequel Witcher Blood Origin, this franchise has been falling apart and its audience has been leaving in droves. And it seems like just a few episodes in, a few weeks into this Volume 1 release, before even Volume 2 comes out to finish out the season story, people are abandoning this show and it's dipping from the top 10 at Netflix. What else is going on at Netflix right now? It got dethroned by a comedy special from Tom Segura. That's the big thing on top right now, and a bunch of other stuff that I've never even heard of, and it's really quite impressive to see. Forbes also put out this article talking about how each subsequent episode of The Witcher Season 3 dropped sharply in viewership. And they have a lot of great numbers, but I want to switch over to the Screen Rant headline for this. They have all the information from this Forbes article in their headline. They say The Witcher Season 3's viewership crisis, down 15% on Season 2, dropped 60% from episode 1 to episode 5. Now, we don't have the final release numbers from Netflix, and we don't have the Nielsen data. The Nielsen's will probably come out sometime next month, maybe 3-4 weeks. But right now, from the numbers we have reported from Samba TV and other places, it looks like it's down 15%, and that's premiere to premiere. So the first episode of Season 2 to the first episode of Season 3 is down 15%, and that's bad enough in and of itself. But then it says by the end of the season, from episode 1 to episode 5, it's down 60%. Over half the people that started Season 3 didn't even get through the end of the volume, which is the first half of the season. Half of the audience didn't even finish the first half of the show. That is abysmal. People are leaving the show in droves. Everyone thinks the show is crap. Even the people who were sticking around for Henry Cavill are not interested in continuing. I know a lot of people online and in my personal life who said, yeah, I'm not really interested in The Witcher after Henry Cavill leaves, but I'm going to watch Season 3 to support him, and then I'm done with the show. It looks like those people are so disenfranchised with how bad Season 3 was that they can't even bring themselves to stick through it, through all of this nonsense. Now, don't just take my word for it. We have the Rotten Tomatoes reviews here that show that the audience hates it. Yes, the mainstream and access media sites critics, they like it. Roughly 86% is pretty good for them. Lower than normal because they always hyper positive respond to these shows. But the audience is what telling. 33% for a Witcher show, for something of this caliber, something with this massive of a budget. As I've talked about in previous videos, it looks like the production budget for the 5 seasons, as well as the animated spinoffs and the Witcher Blood Origin spinoff, is around $1 billion in production budget alone. But let's look at a couple of these reviews real fast. We've got all these 1-star, half-star, 2-star, and these are all people that just genuinely hate the show. There's no malice necessarily. There's not necessarily a bunch of people being diehard book fans like I am who are attacking it based on source material accuracy, which I do believe is the legitimate perspective, but it's a vast diversity of people who hate the show for different reasons. And it's really quite impressive to see. These people, they don't care. They're not even finishing the show. And Netflix is noticing, getting incredibly desperate with weird marketing ploys, such as these posters that they put out throughout the world. They said, yes, he's still Geralt in season 3. That is damaging your season 4 and season 5 with Liam Hemsworth by saying, yes, Henry Cavill is still Witcher. He's still Geralt in season 3. That is kind of throwing shade. It's kind of just a weird way to market it. They're just that desperate at this point, and it might be even more telling, this last bit of news that nobody's reported on yet. According to the Gaming Intelligence, the Rats prequel has wrapped its filming way early. They've only been filming for 2 months at this point when they were originally scheduled to do 6 months. 2 months is not long enough to film an 8-episode miniseries. That is not even half enough time. So they're cutting it short. They're ending it early. Now, there's a lot of theories about why. Maybe it's related to the writer's strike. Maybe it's a budgetary concern. But my personal theory is because Netflix has realized what dire straits this franchise is in, and they might be pulling the plug. That's what I personally hope it is that the Rats is getting canceled, and that's why they stopped production 2 months in. They don't have anything that they can show to the public yet. This is way too early to even say they have half the show done. It's the explanation that I believe makes the most sense because, yes, they have the scripts done. The writer's strike doesn't necessarily affect them at this point. Yes, they might need them for reshoots. They might need them for rewrites and stuff like that, but they have enough scripts that they can at least try to get through all 6 months of planned shooting without being affected by the writer's strike in too strong of a way. But they still chose to end it. And I believe the only logical explanation with the evidence that I have provided is that Netflix is considering canceling this spinoff and maybe canceling the future of the Netflix Witcher universe entirely. Now, I do have to put a caveat on all this stuff that I've been mentioning. The viewership numbers for season 3 are coming from Samba TV. Now, Samba TV only includes a portion, a small percentage of the overall viewership numbers. So you never compare Samba to Nielsen's, which we'll probably get in about 3 or 4 weeks, as I previously mentioned. But you can compare Samba to Samba, and that's what Forbes did. They compared the Samba season 2 numbers to the Samba season 3 numbers and season 3 in and of itself. So these numbers are completely legitimate. They don't necessarily paint a full picture, but they paint more than enough for us to realize that people are rejecting this season, that they're rejecting this franchise, and there is no way that Netflix can keep up the momentum that they had in season 1. This franchise is dying, and it's so great to see. It feels so great. I feel vindicated, and I'm happy to see so many people realizing what I've been saying for so long, that this franchise has nothing in common with its source material. It cannot call itself The Witcher. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon.